Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Obelisk. Tonight we have returning guest Meredith, Swaim, and you know her and love her, Suzanne Potter Thomas. And we're going to talk about whatever comes to our mind, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're just going to BS for a couple hours, and you get to come along for the ride. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, ladies. It's so nice to have you on here.
Hello.
I love this with a dynamic duo, Meredith and Suze.
Pretty fun.
We have enough opinions between the both of us to fill the whole world.
Listen, ladies, there ain't enough room in here for all of us.
Not in this planetary realm.
No.
Oh my goodness. So hello everyone out there in the world that comes and plays with us. So what's going on, everyone? Jerry, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. A lot of shit going on last couple weeks that I really don't want to talk about publicly. Nothing bad. I mean, it's nothing personal. Just work-related stuff is crazy. And that's about it. I got nothing else. I got nothing.
Oh my God, that's rare. Everybody mark this on their calendar. The day Jerry Cthulhu has nothing.
I mean, I got stuff to talk about, but I mean...
I hear ya. I understand.
I don't have a focused point, a topic to jump in on. But I was just answering your question. How I am, I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Well, we do have a focus to jump on because there was a little something that happened today with a few people that think they're in charge of everyone. And one of the things I noticed, and I posted it on Twitter, is the English flag was in the center and the American flag and the Australian flags were on the other side, on either side. And I think if people don't understand that symbology, I don't know what to tell you, but it was very clear and in plain sight. The crown has never stopped ruling these two countries. They did for a brief while in America. And then, of course, we sold it back to them.
And so I didn't hear the announcement, but I did read about it. Is the Five Eyes thing now Three Eyes?
I don't know. I don't know enough to speak on that. I did listen to it, but I was listening to it. I was getting... Here's the problem. I need to listen to it again. I was kind of getting triggered. So when you say the Five Eyes, what exactly are you talking about?
So our intelligence agencies have an agreement with 4 other countries.
Yes.
And it's called Five Eyes. It's
yes.
FVEYS. I forget what it stands for. But it's like UK, Australia, Japan, us, and someone else. I can't remember who it is.
What they said today was they were just giving their alliance to the 3 of them forming this new thing that they call themselves.
Right.
And with the abbreviations of, AU, and then of course the one U turns into the K, which turns into the U and the S.
Right.
And let's get a backbeat on that. Can we spit this out? And
well, what I was thinking, what I immediately thought, like the symbolism and whatnot, was that Five Eyes went down to Three Eyes, and with the UK in the middle, it's the third eye.
But I love that, Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know what it meant, what it means ultimately from the Five Eyes. The three made a very public alliance today, and I could have missed it, but I didn't hear anything else in that.
Yeah. It's
And
the new
they're
axis
talking.
of evil.
Oh well, they're sides are happening because we see this is what they're putting out at us.
And apparently
right?
we're going to help Australia build nuclear subs now, right?
Yeah, why?
For China.
Well, China and Russia. Now, see, we've got sides happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all that kind of posturing's happening, and that was made very clear. And I was getting triggered listening to the languaging. It's these fools. I mean, seriously, these fools. People are agreeing that these people rule us. No,
I
hell no.
know.
Fuck no.
I don't even get it how they can agree to that. Don't they see what's happening?
Well, a lot of them want this to happen, apparently, or it wouldn't be happening. That's like the old psychological rule. You must be liking it or you wouldn't be doing it. But
Hit me
yeah,
harder,
I mean,
Daddy.
oh,
God.
okay. Yes, exact. That's what it is. I
It's
need more bare
disgusting.
ass.
Yeah.
It's 100% disgusting. It's very concerning. And it's just more of this languaging that we're finding ourselves swimming through. And that's the whole thing, Suze. I feel you. It's like, people are agreeing to this. These people, if there ever was a time to be like, not my people, not my president. I mean, I think this is kind of that
Yeah.
time.
What people are
Yes.
you talking about that agreed to this?
Yeah,
The people that want the
Anybody-
vaccine passports.
The people that
Sorry,
are
go ahead.
standing behind these rulers, the people that are
Yes.
giving them power,
They're-
the people that are feeding into that system, those people. That's what I'm
don't-
talking about in specific.
I'm not sure that those people are aware that this happened. Like, I think that the people that are still, like, at this point, at least, like, energetically, like, giving, like, this administration and, like, its tentacles and where those tentacles reach to, like, I just think that they're not paying attention to that, or else they wouldn't be like feeling that way. You know what I mean? Like they're just like swallowing whatever like the media gives them. And Jerry, I was gonna say, like, I was like, I wonder what this has, if this has anything to do with China and Russia. I mean, it seems like China has its tentacles in us and in Australia. So I don't know, like,
Yeah, I don't
is
know.
this a staging of the like actual like war that we would, I mean, because we've been in a regular warfare, but is this like the staging of like the like boots on the ground type of?
No, I don't think we're not going to get there. It's going to be an economic war and information war, way before it becomes a hot war.
And a frequency war.
Yeah, but
But that's been-
China's in a lot of trouble right now economically. There's a bunch of news going around about Evergrande missing their interest payment in September, so that's going to have a ripple effect, and there's they got problems. They're having the same kind of inflation we're having, which we now see is not transitory. Thank you, Fed. Right?
Oh my gosh.
They're predicting, what did I read? 4.1% for next year. On
I thought
top
it said 41%.
it might as well be.
Seriously.
They're warming up. I think they're warming us up for like some kind of economic reset.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they
I think
are. That's what they want. This is the whole thing is economic.
That's what this whole pandemic's about. Is
Yeah.
they've since 2008 when everything crashed, nothing has
Everybody's
changed,
insolvent.
and we've only printed more and more money since then, and now they're at a point where nothing can be reconciled. We can never pay off the debt ever, even if
It's
we
never
tax.
going to even out.
No,
There's no way.
It's ridiculous.
Well, when
It's
they
monopoly money.
when the dollar was the current, the standard the world was going by, we could continue to print money and that would be fine. But right now, several countries are in agreement on pulling that standard from us. So that's when I think we're going to see how this plays down as far as financially
Mm-hmm.
when they pull that status from us, and they will.
Right. Well, you need
Yeah.
you'll need your Vax card to pull money out of the bank. So.
Oh my
Start
God.
And at the
pulling
same
out
time,
your cash.
I mean, the English people fought against the passports and they won right now, allegedly. And so, the government backed down on that. And
For
this,
now.
but it's a good sign. I'm so
I
suspicious of
know.
all of this that
I
I'm
know.
like, they let them have this. And
Yeah.
because there's something else positioning.
Because they're going to lock them down again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then use that
Again,
as
they still are.
Right. Well, they
In
never came out.
England?
There was a little bit of a summer, and they allowed them
Oh,
to
sorry. I thought
in
you were
England.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, England. So
The UK.
England. Did you guys? I don't know. I was in the chat. I missed what you said, but they were going to roll out vaccine passports in September.
Yeah, and then they said they're putting it in their winter arsenal.
Right. They'll probably lock down again in the winter when the mass die-off begins.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense why Scotland's got that body storage for like, what, 2 million people or something?
I don't know. So does Oregon, apparently.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Oregon's crazy out here. Seriously, when Washington and California are looking mild,
I
next to
know.
Oregon's looking crazy. And even like this last week, I went with my friend Melanie. Well, this actually was in Washington, so I've got some nerve. But it's we share this town. Vancouver and Portland are kind of sisters, shared by a bridge. And my friend Mel and I went out to a local haunt we usually go to, and we've been going there a long time. We're both ex-service. I tip well. And Mel does too. We're people you want in your section because we order a lot and we tip well, and we're jovial and we have fun, and you want us in your section, and so we usually get treated like queens. Well, the mask mandate's back on everywhere here, and so we get to the door. I'm going to put my mask on to walk through and sit down so I don't catch COVID. And and Mel points down to so I saw the sign and I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting it on, and it's a speakeasy place. It's in an old building. It's really fabulous. And there's usually speakeasy music. It's all 1920s. Even in the bathroom, there's 20s perfumes and stuff you can use, like Charlie and Taboo and stuff like that. And really great old school cocktails. It's a fantastic place. And then there's a little bit of seating outside. We get to it. Mel points to the bottom sign. It says, basically, you have to have proof of the vax. So you have to show your papers to go in. I was shocked. I was like dumbfounded by it. And my analytical mind clicked right in. So we sat down. We sat down outside where everyone else was sitting down. And because there was one table inside. So apparently one table of elderly people, probably Jerry's parents' age. And, like that generation seems to be really pulling up to this. And,
oh, yes. My parents did.
Yeah, that seems to be, they really seem to be buying into
Couldn't believe it.
So that page, well, we'll get to that in a second. That page, those people, that was one table in there, and the musicians, and of course the staff, and the rest of us were all outside. And then I kept watching people go in just like I was and not paying attention. They were putting their mask on before, and then they all like they were all coming back out. And I thought, this is a good barometer. There's one table inside,
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of us outside. The music's inside, so everyone actually is there to see the music, right? That to me said a lot. And the table inside, like I said, they were of the elder generation, and everyone outside was my generation and younger. And I thought, we're never going to go back. I don't care what they do. I will never spend money in that joint again. Never. That shit's not mandated here. Not that I even acknowledge a mandate against my personal right to sovereignty as a being on this fucking planet. I don't even acknowledge that. But even if they did mandate it and people thought that shit had power over them, I will never spend money there again. I was so put off by it, and yet that's a sign of the times. And now, Suze, let's talk about your parents. I mean, it does seem to be that generation's really behind all this.
My parents
and my
too.
dad's brother, my sister,
My
they
dad.
just all I was
Mhm.
like, what are you doing? This is experimental. Why would you do that? They don't even know what it's going to do. Oh, well, because we don't want to die of COVID and we want to travel. Oh, okay. That makes sense. No,
Oh,
neither one of them caught it.
oh my goodness. It's,
So,
I mean, here's another thing. One of the things, so ivermectin, as someone who's done husbandry, with animals and all this, it's been around forever. It's always been in the animal set. All the antibiotics that humans use are in that section when you go to like Farm and Fleet or these
Horse
farm stores.
dewormer.
And yeah, just like
We're
the
talking
fit,
about horse paste. No, I'm just kidding.
just like the fish amoxicillin, it's still the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just, you read the chart and you go by weight. So
Right.
yeah, if you take a dose that a horse is going to need, you're stupid.
you're going to OD.
You are seriously, you should
Yeah.
take that dose. If that's what you think you need, go on ahead. And,
Go ahead with it.
but so it's just ridiculous. But that is it's a parasitical. It's an anti-parasitical and bot flies. And on the modern, when you go buy it, it says for parasites and bots. It leaves out flies, and
Wow.
And the ivermectin gets in.
But the point is, chew on this, and ivermectin works. This is why it's so powerful and potent. And if you remember, Trump pushed it before he got turned into whatever and pushed the vaccine.
No, he was pushing hydrochloroquine.
But then he also pushed,
which is also an
ivermectin.
anti-malarial.
He also he took hydroxychloroquine, but he's talking about other therapies, and it was on the list. And then of course he pushed all this craziness. But my point here is, it's an anti-parasitical. What are we talking about here? What are we looking at? Now, it's niche, and I'm going to bring the woo. That's where I live. Parasites. I personally don't believe this is about a financial reset. I am in the opposite court of that. I think this is actually a non-human takeover, and I'm not backing down from that. Every psychic thing in my body says this. And the more I look at the way this is unrolling, the more I see how it's unrolling, and I'm looking at how people are functioning within this unrolling event that's happening, the more these people are looking non-human to me. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of us are human. We've got a mixed bag, but you know what I'm saying, for the sake of being easy here and easy to understand. I think that there's a bigger thing going on here. And I've always said this, this, follow the money takes you to the top of the pyramid. Well, what's above that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I said my piece. That's my piece. I said it.
I guess it stands.
I agree.
I guess it stands to reason that in the event, because I do not disagree at all with that take or that approach, like at all. And I think that like a non-human takeover would be facilitated best by multiple financial collapses and then a reset, because when people are in fear and scarcity and like their minds are being fractured like 8 ways till Tuesday, it's like,
yep.
It makes it easier for that kind of like nefarious consciousness, whatever this is, to kind of like slip in through those cracks. So yeah, that same, whatever it is, that entity could also benefit from everybody having to do all of their financial transactions like through one app or like online or something like that, like to collect maximum amounts of data. Ugh, gross.
It's a control grid and the financial reset that is happening. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having a whole cultural reset.
Yeah.
Everything about everything is being reset. That's obvious.
Yeah.
And when you can't get, when they're outlining stuff that we've all been able to buy under the vitamin section, you know, when they're outlining a lot of that stuff, when they're telling you can't read certain things and are outlining those books, and of course we can't meet and congregate and all this stuff, you got to look at this as a holistic situation and not just an American situation or not just a Western situation. This is a worldwide setup that's happening, and people are in bed. So I don't care who's taking sides. I don't care that we just saw America, Australia, the crown, and its penal colonies unite once again. Hi, save the queen. And China and Russia, these people are all in bed together.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm fired up tonight.
I love it. I love the fiery niche.
I can't help it. I feel like actually there's going to be, you know, this is a limited engagement. That's why I think I've been a little more fiery lately. I just do. I feel like it's a limited engagement, and we're going to see how limited this engagement is very soon. You know, September is a pivotal month, and it has not been disappointing as far as what's changing our society with the last two Biden 5 to 10 minutes of talking before he poops his pants and shuffles off.
It's like a computer, like, you know, I mean, this whole like administration has felt very artificial.
Yes.
Like a computer, like a TV screen, really, you know.
Very much so. And, you know, this is one of the things I've always admired from, I know some of you don't like him, but I do, and I still do, Richie from Boston, where he says, step outside and everything looks different. When you get outside the digital, although his last message was a little more dire.
What was it?
Girl, it's a barn burner. You got to listen. I mean, he's...
Which one of his messages aren't dire? I'm telling you, everybody.
In a while.
They're taking us over.
And who is this?
Richie from Boston.
Richie's very sick, and he's, you know, he's very sick. And he's very, very sick. And
What's wrong with him?
He hasn't disclosed that, but it sounds like he's not going to be around long, and he's been talking kind of like that. So, I mean, he said he was sick. He said there's nothing to do about it, and he kind of messages that. So, you know, that's what's going on. And I think that's given him a freedom of, he seems to be, even though he's always Richie from Boston, which I think is personally always awesome. I've always liked Richie. He can be pedantic, but I admire that. I have that myself. And he's just, this last one was really intense. And up until now, though, he's been like, this is all fake. Get outside. The virus is in your head. It's online. It's digital. Get outside and you will see. And then the last one, he was just tripping because everyone's falling into lockstep again with it. And he's basically like, this is it. I mean, it was the most dire Richie from Boston video I've personally seen.
Yeah, I've been on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so
and
let's
then
talk
I have
about
to, like, reel myself back in.
Yeah.
You know, I just have to shut it off, and I have to go outside, and I go to the store, and I realize, you know, everybody's wearing masks because that's what, you know, that's what they're telling us we have to do. The kid, you know, chased me down in the grocery store. So got to comply if you want to get your shit and get out of the store. Anyway, it just, God, this whole thing just makes me so, I want to blow it all up. I want to get the people in charge and just make them pay so bad. And I don't know what to do. It's all that anguish, but then I know that that's what they want. They want me to be upset. They want me to get all pissed off and go off the handle and fuck everything up for myself. I'm not going to do that. They're not going to win.
Content's under pressure. Well, we know.
Exactly.
We know Suze will deliver.
Consume, obey. No. It's
Suze will deliver. Like seriously, Suze ain't no one to mess with. But again,
it.
it's just like content's under pressure. We're all feeling it. I mean, even
Yeah.
today, I lost for the first time in a very long time. I actually lost my temper, and I mean, I just feel atrocious over it. I'm so embarrassed and appalled and saddened that I did, but I did, and it doesn't change the fact that I did. So this is telling me, this is a sign to me that we're all this pressure that we may not recognize. We're under this pressure.
Yeah, we are.
And we're finding spouts, and some of us sometimes get overwhelmed and we just go. And I'm one of those. Like today that happened. And so it's we do have to practice self-care and self-love through this because it's intentional and fear is the name of the game.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that this is probably part of the reason they don't want anybody taking ivermectin.
Well,
it's because of all of those parasites that just
girl for real.
No shit.
And
honestly, meditate on that.
There's as with everything in the agenda, it's multifaceted.
Yes, there's layers.
Sure is.
Layers and layers.
Multi-generational too.
No. What?
Hello.
She's muted.
Multi-generational.
It's a multi-generational thing.
I think it is too. I see where you're going with that.
This is like a 1,000-year scheme.
I'm with you. I'm with both of you ladies.
Yeah.
Long legs.
I'm not arguing about that. I'm just saying the ivermectin thing, though. Like it was demonized early on because if there was an effective treatment available, they couldn't issue the EUA.
Right.
That's probably the main reason.
It
now,
is.
Pfizer's coming out with a pill, a twice-a-day COVID pill.
Merck's coming out with therapies.
I guarantee there's going to be some kind of ivermectin in there.
It is. There is.
There is.
It's got components of ivermectin and HCQ too.
We're calling it Pfizermectin.
Pfizermectin.
And don't forget your graphene oxide, just to make it good with a kiss.
You have to be able to be conductive for the Internet of Bodies.
It reminds me of the Poppy video where she's handing out the pills where they all die, where they get transformed. And I mean, that video is the early Poppy stuff before she turned into who she is now is so prescient, and it behooves everyone to kind of look at it. And that particular video is it's unbelievable how all that kind of narrative is really unfolding. And it's in, of course, what is it in? It's in a Candy Pop video. That's where, it's Candy Pop has always been something we should be afraid of. So just saying.
I haven't really seen any of her stuff.
Girl,
I guess I need to go watch it.
Well, the old stuff. The early Poppy stuff where they were putting out intentionally the crew around Poppy, that was a crew, and she tried hard to leave and she left and she got out. And listen, I love Poppy. I saw her twice in concert. And why? Because I love performance art. Why? Because I like staying in tune with what is the programming going on. And you're going to get real thick programming when it comes to that kind of that market. And generally, it's Candy Pop, and then it turned into Candy Metal, but her messaging in there, the crew around her. And if you ever thought that it was just Poppy and not a crew, look at her now. I'm just going to say that. So Titanic Sinclair, who was the main guy behind all of it, is in league with all this. And this stuff was all intentionally leaked out and put out, and for the good, in my opinion, because it's actually presenting a roadmap of what we have been experiencing in society. And it's uncanny.
This is kind of like what Uncle Cliff's been talking about with the woo, the over woo.
Yes.
What did he say today? I didn't listen yet.
I haven't listened to all of it, and it was mostly, I tuned out to it because it was talking about like how...
No new information?
Like I said, I haven't finished it, but the first half he was talking about the vagus nerve system and how mammals have it, and he's going on about the bug. The bug. Air quotes, the bug.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Cliff High or haven't heard his stuff, his theory, his belief, I suppose you should say, is that the thing that's driving the governments and the elites to do what's happening today is driven by a higher power, which he calls, quote unquote, the bug. Whether or not it's a physical or etheric entity or whatever, he thinks it's manted in nature. And by manted, he means insectoid, and then by that he means hive mind, which to me just means AI. Right?
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was going to say.
yeah. So, I mean, his whole thing is that humanity, these elites are taking over the governments, and elites are being driven by, taken over by whatever, the bug, and the bug is what's running things. He's just simplified it down. So, I mean, it's not, they may be lizard people, but they got bug overlords. Yeah, the mantids, Randy said. Hi, Randy. So yeah, it's been real
Oh,
interesting.
is Randy out there? Hi, Randy.
He is.
Hey.
You should come in.
Randy,
You're
thanks
welcome.
for talking to me today.
You're welcome to join us, Randy, if you'd like.
Randy!
Yeah,
I'm trying to look up the video so you can post it, Jerry, because it seems like it got wiped.
Yeah, I agree. Cliff does sniff his own farts too much, but it's still interesting information.
I love his optimism.
Yeah.
He's optimistic as fuck right now. I'm like,
some of that.
I don't know if I agree.
He put out a bunch of videos on how to fight the police for the Australians, and one of the things. You have to watch all of his shit to get into this, but he talks about the woo, and the woo is things that normies are waking up to, which is basically all the fuckery that's been going on. It's kind of all the things he's been putting out lately. And all of his videos have woo in the title, but they're all kind of like plays on words. And the one he did about the police one was called mayonnaise woo or mayo woo. And he talked about how to get a glove, wear a glove full of mayonnaise when you go to a protest, and you could smear it on a face shield. It doesn't have to be a policeman. It could be Antifa bastard or something like that. Whatever. You could smear mayonnaise on their face shield and they can't see anything.
I have like kind of an anarchist comment, which is that pork and mayo, it's a nice combination. I'm just kidding. I'm vegan, but get it because cops are pigs.
Oh, yeah.
Pork and mayo.
That's one thing he brought up today in his video today about being vegetarian and vegan, is that your malnutrition, your malnutrition, I don't know how to say that. You're under-nutritioned and won't survive, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you, Cliff. Cliff. Yeah, everybody thinks that they have the right answer about diet. Like, everybody is so sure of themselves. How can we be so sure of anything? Like,
We can't.
Eat what's best for you. I'm not eating any
Yes.
creepy like nanotechnology and human mixture, quote unquote vegan meat, so I don't know.
Meredith, we trust you with your own body.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Because we love you.
Thank you. No,
You can do whatever you want.
I find, yeah, and I am aware of the vegan agenda, and I think there is an agenda behind it, but I think that a lot of mostly dudes, funny enough, are feeling really comfortable telling me that my diet is wrong lately. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not pushing it's so easy to be so preachy with veganism but I'm not trying to impress that upon anyone, because I know people who have been sick from not eating meat and whatnot. I think it's very elitist too to assume that I don't know, it's annoying to me. Preachy vegans annoy me more than any other preachy type of food mind control.
How about preachy period? Preachy people period.
Yes.
Annoy
Just
me.
like stay the fuck in your own lane. Like leave me alone.
Shit.
Like, I don't know. What does Cliff High know about nutrition? You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna shut up now.
Well, about your nutrition,
Yeah.
you know, everybody's body's different. Their
And I think-
metabolism is different.
And I have this theory. Well, it's not a new theory, but like the soul kind of like plays a role in that too. Like what is nourishing for us versus like what is not. Like
Mm-hmm.
my soul type is very, very light. Like I probably wouldn't even eat if I didn't like quote unquote need to or feel like I need
Same
to.
here.
I love fasting and like could fast forever and ever if I wouldn't just float away, you know?
I just don't have an appetite.
Yeah.
But when I don't eat, I do get sick. So, but I don't have an appetite. Like I don't even feel like eating. It's not depression. It's disgust is what it is.
That's real.
It's complete disgust
Yeah.
at what's happening. I've lost 86 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Wow, Suze,
yeah.
that's big.
Yep. I only have a little bit more to go.
That's a
Be
big
140.
deal.
So
Holy shit.
143 is like supposed to be the optimal weight for somebody my age and my height. So yeah.
Rock on, girl.
Thanks.
You know, here's one of the things that I have noticed that my eating habits have definitely changed, and I'm eating definitely less, and I'm not sure why. But I'm noticing other people are talking about this too. I
Mhm.
will say I am having urges for stuff that's not really like best for me. Like I'm really craving some honey child, the starches. I hear them in the night
Ooh.
calling me.
You know what?
Yeah.
I cut out potato chip. Well, not totally. Can't say that. From what I was eating to what I eat now is like, it's like I cut it out basically.
Yeah.
So the carbs, all those empty carbs, you know, it's just making me bloated. It was like something just dropped. I don't know. I guess it's just the whole thing just disgusts me. So, because everybody keeps saying, why don't you have an appetite? I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
it's like my body just was like, all right, we got to get into fighting weight. Come on. You know, it's like my body knows what to do. I don't know. It's weird.
Your body does know what to do.
I think it
believer
does
in that.
too. Yeah.
And that's,
So-
that's one of the things Meredith specializes in. Well, it is. You're the yoga queen
Yeah.
here, girl. Come on now.
I need a personal
Yeah.
trainer.
Oh,
You need a
Jerry.
personal trainer?
Yeah.
And she
Come to
needs to wear
Charlotte.
latex. She needs latex. Jerry needs.
Come to Charlotte.
And he's gonna
What if-
call his personal trainer a mistress. No, mistress.
if-
Yes, mistress.
So one of my friends is a trainer and he's a man, which means that there's very little like ability to be creepy or like you can insist on latex if you want, but and you know, he'd probably look good in latex, but I don't know, like I don't know if that would be appealing for you.
I'm not into latex.
No. Well, it's just okay. Leather. We can do
I'm
leather.
not into leather. I'm
Oh,
not
shit.
looking for a
Jerry's just
mistress.
nude.
Physical.
Okay. Yes.
I've lost a lot of my submissive tendencies.
You are a different person.
I am.
Mhm.
Yay. I don't know.
Jerry's been a slave to pussy for his whole life.
That's all. Yay, congratulations on kicking that.
Not anymore.
Jerry's
Now,
had it.
now I'm a monk. So
Oh my gosh, I feel that.
Oh, you know what? Be wise, be alone. I've always thought that was a very wise statement.
Mm.
It is kind
Well,
of nice.
yeah.
Like,
I like it's better to be alone than to wish you were.
oof.
That's so good. I love that. That's a goodie. That is a goodie.
Yes.
It's interesting to think about like how this concept of sovereignty, everybody like says that and like talks about that. And I think a lot of the people that I mean, myself included, frankly, who like say that and talk about it are like on some level, like still allowing like their personal relationships to invade their like, oh crap, are you counting the amount of times? No. Oh well, I'm sleepy. Give me a break.
I'm teasing you, and I will continue to. So just
Okay, fine.
ignore me.
So it is. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh, people continue to allow their. Now I'm really conscious of it.
Don't worry,
Meredith.
just keep going. Gosh.
Oh my God.
I got like 25 O's because I always say, oh, really? Oh, this? And he just put all my O's in one column one day. And I was like, I know I say that too much.
Let's talk about the Jews.
Oh my God.
Oh my word.
No, I'm kidding. That's never mind. It's a joke.
Oh Jesus. Oh Lord.
So, let's see. I was talking about sovereignty and how I have been that person too, who has been talking about sovereignty while I'm in a relationship that's like actively like draining me dry. I think it's important to evaluate like on a micro level who's, you know, who in your micro reality is siphoning off of you. And
Yes.
I think at this time, especially, like it's imperative to kind of, you know, trim the fat.
I agree.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, that word sovereignty, I've been thinking, I don't know. Is it illusory to think we have free will, or that we are able
We don't have free will.
Able to put a stick in the ground and say, I am sovereign, you know?
There's no way to prove you even have free will. I mean, I don't know if we do. I can't say yes or no. However, there's no way to prove it because regardless of what choice you make, you don't know that you would have chosen otherwise in a deterministic system. I just think it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm. And then does becoming aware that that's an illusion have any impact at all on your ability to have free will? I don't know.
I don't know. Does becoming aware of the flat earth, make any difference to you?
Oh, that's a good one, Jer.
Yes.
That's a whole thing. I would just so much rather have people in my life that I can bullshit about the shape of the earth with, than have people who are gonna like instinctively, no, it's a globe. This is science. This is facts. Like that is scary to me at this point.
Yeah,
you're mind controlled.
I'm just like, leave me alone. Like,
I am not a flat earther. I want to state that again for the record. I'm not a flat, and I'm not a globe earther. I am shape agnostic. I really,
yes.
I am more in the idea that we're in a hologram, a holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a room.
Holodeck.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yes.
I don't think it has a shape. It's got a toroidal energy shape. I know that. But I don't know if it's
not
physical.
A big black box?
Nah.
the cube of Saturn.
That's the universe. When I was young, I've told you this before, that I had a vision, a download, whatever you want to call it, of what the universe shape was, and I saw a black cube. And this is when I was like 12.
Dang.
Wow.
That's deep. I have thought, does the simulation apply to everything in this universe? And it
does.
Seems like just a complex bunch of,
Well, I think that the universe is made manifest by consciousness. So, take it from there. Whatever consciousness can make you believe is real, it does. It can.
Are we not consciousness?
We are manifestations of consciousness. Can
consciousness itself have free will?
I don't know.
Because I think, maybe to say that free will as a human is illusory, especially right now. I could get behind that, but to say that consciousness can't have free will, I don't know. To me, it seems like consciousness can do whatever the fuck it wants. And if we're manifestations of consciousness, I don't know.
But we have to work within the framework of what it sets out for us. So in that regard, it may be more deterministic with the illusion of free will.
We have to live in the illusion that the black cube set up for us, or that consciousness set up for us.
Consciousness.
So the black cube exists as part of consciousness, and so does everything else. How do we know that like everything else?
I don't know where the black cube fits in there. I'm just saying that when I meditated on what the shape of the universe was, I saw a black room, a dark room with walls, square corners, you know.
Can I tell you guys about a mystical experience that I had?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Recently?
We love those.
So I'm working on, excuse me. Sorry.
I'll keep it real. I love that. We have our first burp of the night.
So I broke my glasses at the beginning of the week. I just sat on them, I guess, and I broke them, and have been working very loosely on natural vision correction, and actually received a pair of trainers. These are a couple of notches in the direction that I want to go. So now I'm like training my eyes to, anyway, not wearing my glasses for 48 hours was a very, very mystical experience, because I felt like I could kind of rest. I did wear them, I taped them and I wore them to drive. But other than that, I didn't really wear them at all. And I was sitting on my porch and I was trying to do that thing where you gaze at trees and then clouds and then trees and clouds. And it's just an exercise. And then I closed my eyes and it was like I was pulled through like a wormhole or like something. It was like through fire and water and then nothing. It was nothing. And it was awesome. It was like where everybody will leave me alone. No, but it was beautiful. And I felt like my spirit said, okay, now this is where you should create. And I was like, okay, so, because I've been having a hard time with some of my more extravagant, needy manifestations taking root. And so it's kind of seemed like that, but it was really awesome and it didn't feel like, it didn't feel like gross or weird or I didn't get any, it was amazing, actually. It was just totally nothing. And like a blank canvas, you know?
Wow.
It was beautiful. Yeah. I mean,
That's neat.
I've tried to send myself down that same, you know, like wormhole. It felt like I was pulled through my chair. Like it was really bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's incredible. Really.
I'm just along for the ride. Like, but things like that keep happening for me and I'm happy to take part in it. So yeah.
I love that story, Meredith. Thank you. That is incredible. And when we can see how malleable the experience is by altering certain things, vision's a big deal because of the nature of vision. We can then understand that there's more going on. And then just on a practical level, I've been doing the eye training too and trying to go in the direction of no glasses. So slowly I've been cutting back the magnification process.
Mm-hmm. How's that been going? Are you legally blind too? I'm legally blind. I don't know.
I don't think I'm legally blind. I went to the optometrist and I was so appalled by the experience.
You don't like getting your eyes blown in?
It was just, the whole thing was a fiasco. They always want to get all up on my eyes. And I mean, that's what they do, but there's always like issues because of the heterochromia. And, so I did that and it was very expensive. And then I got these frames that were very expensive, that were cheap as hell, but they were very expensive. And, I had them for a while and, you know, I got the whole the whole idea, is the progressive ones too, right? So that was hard for me to navigate.
Oh,
And
I hated progressives.
I did not do well
I'd
with
have to take them off in the store. The fluorescent lights killed me. I
Yeah.
felt dizzy.
Yeah, they did not do, and they're just like, well, you just
Yeah.
you adjust. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not having this. And so I never went back. This was not that long ago. This is maybe 3 years ago. And now what I do, Meredith, is I just order readers that I like. And I am insane about the blue blockers now because of the blinding that they're trying to do. And so I order readers and I just keep going down. So I started with 2.5 magnification. So it's pretty heavy for some people. So I don't know. I wasn't legally blind when I got tested last, but I really have a hard time. It's really just details. So
yeah, me too.
I can't read anything
Up close.
Yeah, I can't even get up close. Me trying to read small print is having my glasses on and an eye, magnifying glass. That's me trying.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm like, okay, wait, the glasses aren't working. Where's the magnifying glass? And now it's like, can I have a loop on top of that?
That's why I used to wear 2 pairs of glasses. I used to wear my glasses and my reader, sometimes 3.
Sometimes 3.
Suzanne, we call it make do. In the old world, it's called make do.
Exactly. God.
Oh my gosh.
I was just saying, I was, quote unquote, legally blind too for my whole life up until like 1999. I got eye surgery. I had the LASIK.
Oh, okay.
And my vision's been pretty much perfect since then, but I've become a little farsighted, so I have to wear readers to read.
Okay.
And I tried the progressive lenses too, and they were hideous. They were like all swimmy and goofy. And
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So I got regular bifocals, and they work great.
Yeah. I just have readers now. I just take them on and off as I need.
Me too.
But I am having success doing what we're doing, Meredith. And so I started with 2.5 and I'm at 2 now, which I think is miraculous.
That's great.
That's great.
Magnifying 2 times.
Yeah.
It was 2. I was on, actually, I think at the most I was almost, I bought a pair of 4.
Wow. I think I have 3.5 is the highest.
I have computer glass. I got these glasses that I wear for when I work, but
yeah,
the focal point has changed. I have to get up real close for it to be in focus now. So I pretty much
Ooh,
stopped wearing
Jerry,
them about a year ago.
looking sexy. Put those back on, Daddy. Look at that. Jerry's looking very sexy. My God.
They're
All right, now we're
purple,
talking.
too.
I know they're sexy, and the hair, everything. You're looking quite distinguished.
Thank you. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys.
No. That's we're talking
Kidding,
2
I'm
minutes. 2 minutes of hotness. The extra 3 minutes is just a little before and after.
The post-orgasm torture.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
I love 2 minutes of hotness. As long as potatoes are afterwards, I'm good.
We need all the starches.
I always keep a bag of tater tots in my freezer.
Okay, now Minnesota, we're representing. I love it.
So I have been wearing glasses since I was a baby, which is like, did I really need them? I think eye doctors are also just doctors, and
Did you get new glasses already, or did you just epoxy those?
So my normal vision is 8.5 and 9, and it's probably worse. I just haven't had my eyes checked in a little while, but that's where my prescription left off in 2018, 2019. And I've never not worn glasses, and it's gotten progressively worse. And so, yeah, I think these are 6 to 7. And I'm doing okay with these. I think it's surprising. And I was talking to Amira, who I think most of us know and love.
Amira. I always start everything with 3 Amiras. I love them.
Amira.
Yeah, do it 3 times.
I just met a girl named Amira.
Amira is fabulous. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, we love Amira. She's great. But yeah, she told me that she didn't wear her glasses for 2 months. and then her eyes just healed themselves. And I was like, okay, yes. So already within a few days of not wearing glasses and 1 day of wearing 6 and 7, I mean, driving with these was rough, and I probably shouldn't even say that out loud, but I've been testing myself. I mean, I've been not wearing them for long periods of time, going for long walks without them, and I mean, I already feel acclimatized to these. And even in the first 48 hours when I was like trying to read, I was working on the McDonald's astrology app that I work for. And I was like really close to the monitor, and then I was like backing away, and I was trying to test myself. And I noticed that some of the characters on the screen were like, in an aspect of my eye clear, but then another aspect of my eye still has yet to catch up. I don't know. That's just what it feels like to me. So everyone's an optometrist now. Just like everyone's an expert on foreign affairs, and I don't know, I'm just...
And medicine. And
virology.
Yes.
Just recycling that meme through the...
Are you a scientist?
I can't
Then
believe
sit down.
that you would profess to know more than...
I know.
Shut up, Karen.
Yeah, and Bill Gates is a doctor, so bite me.
He's
Everybody
our Lord
can
and
do
Savior.
research.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's the
Thank you so much
Antichrist.
to Fauci for giving us this day and this breath that we take.
Oh my God. Well, I had a thought come into my head the other day, and I tweeted it, and vaccine is the new currency.
The
Sure seems
subscription
like it.
service to the new society.
Well, they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. They want everybody to have it. So there's got to be, I don't know. It just is crazy.
He thinks the propaganda campaign is falling a little flat.
Yes. Yeah, I guess since Biden, proclamated that we're all fuckers because we won't take him when he's going to make us, the uptake has gone drastically down. Imagine.
Gee, I wonder why.
So interesting. It's almost, and Jerry, you said that they employed like behavioral psychologists, right? A long time ago.
Yeah, I did.
You brought that to my attention.
The
it's not looking like it.
There are more behavioral scientists and sociologists, I forget what the makeup is exactly, than actual medical doctors on the advisory panels for the president.
They suck at their jobs.
People, it's crazy.
I mean, if the vaccines worked and this was a truly deadly disease, they wouldn't have to spend $1 billion to advertise it and force people to take it.
It's a mind virus.
Whatever it is.
And the vaccine is what people should, I think that, I don't know. I've talked a lot on that. I'll save everyone. But it's just so funny to me.
That's what I tell Ben every time I'm giving him driving lessons. And every time we get in the car now, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try not to talk about this.
I know, right?
He's like,
I'm
okay,
constantly.
Mom, I've steeled my mind against, it's okay. You can say it. You can say what you need to say. He's so nice that way. But it does. It makes you feel bad because it's like you can't stop harping about it. I just can't believe we're here. I mean, I can, but I can't. I don't I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. And here we are in a deeper place in this narrative, and it's only going to get deeper from here and darker. And I'm an optimist, but that's not fear porn. That's looking at what's being told to us and what's being brought down upon us. And I am not contributing to that. I'm so tired of that New Age narrative. No, it's
Me too.
I'm tired of that New Age narrative where this is my bubble, and my bubble, I'm only going to accept in love and light. Listen, every day I do only love may enter here, only light, only love may dwell here. I cast all else out. I've been doing that for years in my windows and with my incense. It's my morning prayer.
Yeah.
And what I'm participating in is watching this craziness. That's what I'm participating.
Yeah. If something scares you, is that the information itself, or is that you acting upon the information itself? Like,
that's a good, sorry, Meredith, go on.
People just need to like heal their shit, like for real, because that's what is ultimately like bringing, like, that's what brings that kind of mentality, that because I've been accused of spreading fear, and I am like, y'all, prepare yourselves, get a generator, get food, get water, because I want y'all to like survive and stuff. So I don't know. It seems like that kind of really like endeavoring to look at what is, because that's really what it is. It's looking at what is somehow spreading fear, because you're not saying that like we're all just going to mystically go into the fifth dimension and everything's going to be fine, and the guardian hosts are coming to save us. The hosts, whatever. It's like, no.
Let's look at fear for a minute and look at what is its function in our psyche. What's its function in our world? Fear is an important function, and we need it. Mm-hmm. Fear lets you know that if you're in the jungle, there might be a lion nearby, and if you don't have your gun, and even if you have your gun and you get ambushed, you're going to be food. Fear is an important part of this experience. It's information that informs you as to what's going on in your environment around you. And you have to look at fear. You don't have to eat the fear. You don't have to digest the fear. You don't have to buy into it, but you need to listen to it and understand that there's some reason you're having a response like that. And then of course, we've all been adrenal fatigued through this whole process, which I postulate is of course by design. And so we've all got adrenal fatigue right now. No matter how much we're taking care of our adrenals, the pressure is on. It's continuing to be on. We get small vents. So the summer where Amira is, they had their winter, and they're going to possibly get a little break, right? Because they gave us summer break here in this hemisphere. We got summer break, even as ridiculous as this summer was. It was still a summer break, and steam got to be let out, so to speak. And now we're at the lower point, we're going deeper. And at the point where you jump off when you go deep is a point where you risk the bends. I'm talking about psychic bends, psychological bends. And that's where we are. It's a hard thing to separate from right now, because the pressure is so intense, because we are this deep into this narrative. Or you could say we're this deep into the mound of bullshit.
I think that's a really good point. And I think that there's something about like specifically my family. And this has been coming up a lot for me in the dynamics between me and my family, because I'm saying danger, danger, danger. Like I registered danger. I have been registering danger. Like, I mean, and so I'm like, like help, like I registered danger. And they're like, what? And I'm just like, why can't you also register danger? Like, I'm sounding the alarm bell. Like, and I've kind of, and y'all know that I came from that like neoliberal weird, like I don't know, but
you were a light worker.
Oh my God, fuck off. And look at how far I've come.
You're still a light worker, Dorothy, but you're a real one now.
I mean, honestly, I could say that I was a real one then. I was like looking at like entities and I had a long, weird progression. But anyway, so I guess I don't even remember what I was saying about fear. And shadow. I was saying like how I've been registering danger and how I've been kind of alerting like the people that I know in my community who are like also kind of in that liberal-ish, some light work. Yeah, it's a weird, it's a weird diverse mix, but I've been like, danger, danger. And they're like, no, no, no. And like, it's the same kind of energy. And I don't understand that. I have like a very like well cultivated gut instinct at this point, and it's like totalitarianism.
Right.
I'm like, this is not, you don't understand what this means. Like, we can't have this type of gathering like in like IRL totalitarianism, like it's right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's so I'm like, y'all don't understand that like a lot of things could go away that we like, that you don't.
Yes.
know,
They trust.
Like,
They trust their world.
I sense that they want to like really like isolate and break the people who have like psychic like, or who the real witches or the real heretics out here, there's like, I don't know. Anyway.
Seems like they're more earthly or tied to, maybe not tied to not the earth, but the elements, maybe more elemental. I don't know.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Well, I just think, like, for me, I care about the planet. I care about people. I care about what we're harming. I won't use products that are going to harm animals. And,
right.
I wouldn't put iron stuff on my lawn to make my lawn greener because it might have harmed the kids. We don't know what's in all these fucking chemicals. Yeah. Why are we poisoning ourselves so bad so these motherfuckers can get rich? Why are we doing this? And we're allowing it still. Why? Because we can't get out of our own fucking way. And people will not take accountability for their own goddamn actions, and they need to.
Yeah.
I'm feeling you, Suze. I'm feeling you.
There's this sense of like needing to take responsibility for things as a soul. Like, have you ever heard the phrase, like, it's not maybe entirely your fault what happened to you, but it's your responsibility to heal it and like navigate out of it. It seems like as souls, we've made certain choices that have either been complicit or have been engaging with this on some level to where it is now. So I'm to the point where like, even if it's not like this human, this body, this life Meredith that made a choice to where I'm taking responsibility for all of it.
Right.
I have to grab my laptop charger. BRB.
Okay.
She's the only person I know who says acronyms.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Oh no, my millennials.
We love you, girl.
So funny.
Yeah,
I just saw a hilarious meme that I'll share with you guys, not with the audience.
Radio silence.
Can you see it?
No,
Is it the one that's like IRC over there?
No.
I don't know what I was looking at, Chair.
This one.
Maybe my internet's low.
Oh, see, I didn't see that before. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
I'll share that with the chat.
That's
it's
funny.
Classic Jerry. It's classic Jerry.
It's dirty, so beware.
Mm-hmm. Heads up, y'all. XXX.
Did you pee yet, Meredith?
She went to grab her battery pack.
Oh, was that?
Was
that a euphemism for I have to pee?
I wish that I could shorten that down to an acronym for this moment.
Okay, so the acronym for I have to pee is BRB space BIO.
I'm not saying that. But I am gonna go to the bathroom, so I'll catch y'all in a jiff.
That's
And
what-
thank you,
All
thank
right.
you so much, Jerry, for airing out my
I
business.
I have to pee too. Okay, does it make you feel any better?
know. I do too.
Oh, we all,
But I'll wait.
we all come from the same ocean.
I've been just drinking like a ton. I drank 2 or 3 of these today, 44 ounces of water. So
Oh my
Good
God, Jerry, you have
job.
a big gulp of water. I love it.
it's extra large. Yeah,
It still looks like a big gulp, and it's in your hands, and you're big.
it's 44 ounces. It's huge.
Ooh,
Yeah.
This is the new Quick Trip. They used to have like taller cups, but skinnier at the bottom, so it fits in your cup holder. And apparently they had to get a new manufacturer because the old one couldn't make enough cups. Everyone's out of cups around here.
Oh wow.
So anyway, these new ones, the bottom doesn't fit in any cup holder anymore.
Oh, what a bummer.
I know.
There's a-
No.
that was fast, Meredith. Were you peeing on the way?
Yes.
You know, when Suzanne has to pee, she takes her phone with her so we can hear.
On the way to the show.
Oh, not on the, not on
Live
YouTube or
streaming
on,
on YouTube.
not live.
Listen, we all do
I
it.
knew.
You know, we're so funny about these kinds of
Yes.
things. I don't know how
Except
many
for Kim
times.
Jong Un, he doesn't.
Oh,
he doesn't.
Oh, that's right.
What doesn't he do?
He doesn't
He
peer
doesn't do
poo. He
anything now.
doesn't have body odor. None of that.
Isn't it funny how that all just dropped off the radar? By the way, just black.
Hmm.
Everything about overseas stuff did. I mean,
Yeah, it was not serving its purpose any longer, and now we
Right,
have the
right.
news stories.
right.
How about
No
Japan
shit.
doing their getting ready, telling their citizens not to go to some places over there because they think terrorist attacks. Like, didn't you read that?
No.
And they're having some exercise, some military exercise. They're
Oh,
worried
yeah.
that they're going to be attacked.
By China.
I
China.
don't know if it's China
China.
or they think the Taliban's going to fly over. I have no idea.
Well, China's going to take Taiwan now.
Yeah.
They are really kicking our butts, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oswald just brought up Norm Macdonald. That was pretty sad.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually saddened by, I don't give a shit if celebrities die, but Norm Macdonald, I kind of felt bad about that. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
So, what was the story with that? He had cancer.
He had cancer for like 10 years.
What kind?
They haven't said. It was
Doesn't say.
very private. Probably
Yeah.
prostate cancer. Maybe
Is it
lung
blood
cancer.
cancer?
I don't. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It was cancer.
Yeah.
It's all interesting. He was too young though. 61 is too young.
Yeah.
That is.
A lot
Yeah.
of people dying lately.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ain't it
that's
interesting?
It's the exit ramp from the Matrix. People are like, I'm out of here.
dude, wouldn't I cannot say that I blame them.
Madonna's song comes to mind.
Not every
Yes, it sure do.
That was a whole entire ritual that
Yeah.
yeah, I was I lost what I was gonna say. Damn
Yeah,
it.
but I want to say something on Madonna. So they had their their extravaganza in New York, the Met,
And that.
and I want to say that I find it very interesting who didn't go, who always goes, and Madonna was one of them. And remember, it was a requirement to be bitten to attend. And
Mhm.
so whereas her daughter went, Lourdes went, but she did not go, and she goes always. And so I think that said a lot. Now she was very vocal about saying this was a hoax in the beginning, if anyone paid attention.
Oh,
but
I
they-
didn't know that.
Yes, she was on it. She allegedly got it and she's fine. Then she broke the lockdown. She was doing all those lockdown videos, and then she just got tired and said, fuck it. And then there's videos of her out driving or being driven and saying, I'm out breathing the COVID air and stuff
Ugh.
like that. She got very rebellious about it. And then it kind of it just ended. And then now no messaging about this, but the fact that she didn't go is interesting. And of course, I don't even think it's Madonna anymore. Who is that girl?
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, she looked like she's one of the first celebs who have been like uploaded, like
100.
officially.
Girl, you are so right on top of this. I am with you, Meredith. It's not Madonna. And so, yes, there's a lot of
Shoot.
plastic material. She actually resembles Joan Rivers now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not on her Instagram. On her Instagram, she's working all the filters and she looks like she's 17. But she is, when you see the live stuff from her, like she's been doing some live stuff here at gay bars and at the VMAs and all this stuff. When you look at live photos or live video, she looks like she really looks like Joan Rivers, honest.
Like weathered.
No, not weathered. Like a whole puppet face. And
Oh, yeah.
I love
I don't
Joan
know.
Rivers. We need Joan Rivers back. They need to bring her
She
back.
was really vocal too. It's interesting to watch. Like, I'm so new to some of this, and to kind of see like celebs breaking out of their mind control now, like, is interesting. Like Nicki Minaj, Queen. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion
But
about
I find
celebrities.
Meredith, for the first time, I had respect for Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I
because
did
she's
too.
Saying, fuck this. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
she towed the line. She towed the line and
She
said,
didn't
I
even-
don't trust it. I don't know what it is until I do. I'm not doing it. She didn't say I'm anti this or anti that. She
Yeah.
did it very strategically. And right now, you kind of have to be strategic to get by.
Yes.
She said that she wouldn't do the thing to go on tour, or she said she wouldn't do the thing to go to the Met. She was saying if I did it, it would be to go on tour or after I had done enough research. And then she added a anecdote about her cousin's testicles or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like
My cousin's friend.
my cousin's friend's brother's sisters.
Got
Yeah, but
images.
what you got to understand, what she's talking about is real though, and
Yeah.
the spike proteins gather in the testicles of
Mhm.
men in particular. They're all over, but they are. Jerry's disagreeing, but this is something that
This
I
is
had a doctor on
transmissible,
that was
okay?
talking about
Okay,
this.
I know.
and how these. Okay, Jerry, go on.
I've heard it too, and I just saw a more recent biodistribution study, and the most concentrated place they go is to the ovaries in a woman.
Okay, so I didn't get to that, and I was
I'm
going
sorry.
there, but I've been hearing that the
That's great.
testicles, because they're outside the body, there's this whole line of reasoning. I guess, okay, here's where we go, because we don't know who the fuck to trust anymore, honest to God.
Mhm. Yeah.
What we do know is that the spike proteins seem to be settling in the genitals of apparent humans on the planet, and they're rendering them with reproductive problems. So I think that's
Yes.
maybe the safest thing to say here, because we don't know the truth about any of this.
And after that biodistribution study was widely shared, the next story trending on Twitter was experts say, or scientists say, that the vaccine does not make you infertile.
No, but they're saying COVID makes you infertile. And now they're saying COVID affects unborn, or like affects you're more likely to miscarry if you have, they're really like fucking doing that.
That may very well be true. You have to realize that what they're calling COVID is the spike protein.
Yeah.
And the vaccines make your body make the spike protein. So, I mean, there's really no difference between COVID and getting the vaccine.
Right.
That's why so many people who are getting the vaccine are getting COVID.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things to look at is
The symptoms of COVID. COVID's like AIDS. There's not one thing that defines it, because they never isolated the virus.
right. That's why there's no test for it.
Correct.
And I guess too, there's something about like what's been going on in the last few years, even pre-Rona times, like with the sun and like the solar flares, and how like people can have flu-like symptoms from the sun, and people can also go fucking crazy. So, and there is like an increased level of like just magnetic charge in the atmosphere.
And cosmic rays too. And
Cosmic rays, that's
and
what I'm
it's
saying.
yeah, and it's evident by all the shenanigans going on in airplanes right now. People going
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
on airplanes. When you're that high up in the air, you're
Mhm.
way more exposed to cosmic radiation.
Yep.
and people are getting agitated and going crazy up there.
Well, I
Jen,
think
remember-
there's a couple of things with that. Like it's the cosmic rays themselves, and then also the nano is really like it goes nuts at that. Like, so I think part of like the narrative around pilots and stuff could just be that like them. Sorry. It could just be them like trying to like hide the cosmic rays and all of the stuff that's going on with the earth changes and the sun and stuff.
I don't think they really know what's going on with the sun.
Remember when Luke
They
Perry
still
had
believe
his-
they still believe it's 93 million miles away.
I'm talking about the controllers, them,
Oh, the bug?
the bug, yeah. Or whatever.
I'm sorry, Suzanne. What were you saying?
Oh, that's okay. Remember when Luke Perry had his stroke, and then like
Yes.
several other people started having strokes, and we were wondering if it was the cosmic rays and like what if it had anything to do with the heart rhythm or
Maybe they were sympathy
that
strokes.
wasn't yours.
The
It's not really a
field
heart
is very
rhythm. That's
magnetic.
buildup of. Anyway, you know what a stroke is. So, but it has.
I had a stroke.
It seemed like it was affecting, blood and the heart and all of that with a bunch of people at that time. And now,
Right,
I'm
right.
glad you brought that up, Suze.
Geomagnetic storms can cause cardiopulmonary issues.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it makes your blood thicker. And someone's requested, Justin Partridge has requested you tell us about teleportation.
Hey, JP. Hey, out there.
Is that JP Stardust, same person? Or is it
Yes.
different?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Justin Partridge. I
From
went to art school with
Champaign,
him.
Urbana.
Yes, that's where I went to school with him.
Hmm.
And so I'm not going to get into that right now, but I did post a link on Twitter, DNA teleportation. You can look it up on like Wikipedia. It's something to get into, and I'm pulling something big together with that. So I'm going to just leave that where it is. So sorry, JP. But I'd like to not burned. I love my JP.
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
I like
so
JP too.
one of the things I thought would be interesting is, and this is some of the stuff that's hard to get information on, and one of the reasons why I've been enjoying doing what I call boots on the ground is talking to real people we know and having them talk about the world around them. So what are they seeing? Are they seeing shortages? Are they seeing masking? Is there any kind of power over? Some people are not seeing much. Like I did an interview with a really fantastic person named Rafa Martinelli in Uruguay, and they're just not seeing much. But admittedly, Uruguay is like Iowa in the old days where it took 20 years to get any,
To get news.
right. In Iowa, they were, they're still flappers in the 1970s, and then they became fashionable again. So anyway, so what I wanted to look at here, though, is I'm curious about anyone that has been bitten, BYTE, EN, and I like talking to people about what they're experiencing, what are their symptoms as well. And I've been amazed at how many people have been very candid with me. But one of the things I have not heard that I hear in the media is this issue with erectile stuff, like not getting erections with guys. I'm hearing that in the media. I haven't personally heard anyone tell me that. I understand this could be a point of shame, maybe for some people, or embarrassment, but that's really getting a lot of coverage, and it's getting a lot of coverage from medical people. So I'm curious about that, and I want to know more about that. And then, did you all hear that story recently? And there's a lot of these stories. So when I say this, it's like, well, I heard that story. This particular story was this woman. It just went around. Navier sent it to me. This woman was like basically 9 months pregnant, and I am paraphrasing here, people. And she wanted to, she needed to have her baby, and they wouldn't let her into the hospital or have these services she needed without being bitten. And so she capitulated because there was some problem. She has heart issues or there was some medical problem, and she needed to make sure that she was going to, everything was going to be all right. She does
Didn't
it.
she need a C-section? Wasn't this in the UK?
I can't see, Suzanne, you might be more informed on
Is
this.
Is this the video of the baby?
The baby that died, not the one that seized. I know which one you're talking about. No,
Okay.
I have seen one too many videos of babies seizing out. I can't view that kind of stuff anymore. I can't even
Yeah.
look at it. It's horrific to me, and I think very bad thoughts about
Yeah, I do too.
parents doing this to their kids. But her baby died a week. They did this, and then it was like a week before the baby was born, and then the baby died. So if someone's out there, I don't know if Navier's out there, but it was heart-wrenching, and it turned that couple into, black-pilled them right there. Their baby died. It was, they can see that it was directly related. The baby had been healthy. All signals were healthy that the baby was in utero and healthy. And she didn't want the bite. She did not want the bite, but she got the bite because she didn't want complications, because I think she had some sort of heart issue. And then their baby's dead.
Oh my gosh. It's
stuff
so
like that.
sad.
It's not a lone story, though. There's a lot of these weird stories like this. And that's what I'm saying. This is the month we need to be paying attention to birth rates and what's going on with the birthing and people that got bitten during pregnancy and before, and start analyzing this data as best we can. And one of my friends that was a long-term pediatric nurse was forced out, so I don't have any intel, but she was telling me very bombastic stuff. And that was very alarming to me with what was going on. And that's before we hit this month where we're going to really start seeing 9 months later what's going on.
Yeah, I can't. This is like one of those things where, like, because I've had this thought multiple. Shut up, Jerry.
I'm laughing at something completely different.
Oh, okay.
They're saying this, by the way, I believe it was the spike proteins in her milk that did the baby in.
Oh yeah. That's where I start to see red, and I just don't know what to do whenever there's talk about. Oh my gosh, that means.
Oh my God. Jerry.
Okay,
that's what I was laughing at.
You had to break up the fuss any amount. Yeah. Like,
Jerry.
So just, okay. I don't, like, if you don't care what happens to you, I don't fucking care what happens to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a general rule of life. Like, if you're
for adults.
Yeah. If you're a grown-ass person and you don't care what happens to you, guess what? I don't care what happens to you. But looking at like some of the deeper implications of this for children is just enough to like make you go crazy. I mean, looking at like the education plans for the fourth industrial revolution for children and how it's very gamified learning and it's very like tokenized and predictive, sort of like, I recognize that it's like just a deeper, more predatory extension, it seems like, of what we have now. It's like what we've had forever or something, can't exist anymore in the physical. So it's been uploaded to the digital, and now it's like trying to get us all in there, and it's just very insidious. And I've been kind of nonsensically urging my friends with kids, just pull them out. I don't know why, but just do it, because maybe it isn't nonsensical. I don't know, but
it isn't nonsensical.
Seems like a really dangerous place for kids.
It's your danger
right now.
I think there's certain people that get the frequency of danger, Will Robinson, and they, and we're going to go warn everyone, but then nobody wants to listen to us. And then when we're right, once again, they don't want to admit it. And then finally, some will, they'll go, oh yeah, you were right. And, maybe all the things you said didn't come true, but for the most part, the the whole, you could see the whole scenario because we all look at history. We
And by
all
that-
read what they're doing.
It doesn't
By
matter.
that point, the agenda is so far ahead of where it was when we were all like, danger, danger, that it doesn't even fucking matter.
No.
It's definitely accelerated.
So
And
then what?
it's going to
Danger.
continue. This ride is just getting started, people. Serious.
So now what we need to do
So-
is look. Sorry, go ahead, Jerry.
I was going to say it's the inverse phi angle. It's the coil. We're stuck in this spiral now. It's going to get faster and
Oh
faster.
yeah.
Until there's just no time at all, and it's everybody's like, is
It's
it
gonna
Tuesday? Is it Wednesday?
The coil is going to continue to tighten until something snaps.
Yeah.
I
The
think
universe-
that what we're talking about right now, what's happening with children. I mean, if that isn't the final thing,
I know. If that's not the
Yeah.
straw that breaks the camel's back, for
it's
these
never gonna
parents-
fucking break. Like,
No, it's not going to break. I think the people that don't want to live in a society like this will break up. I think we'll have different states or something. I mean, we're going to have to. People that are like-minded, we're going to be like, we're going to have to live in like, tribes again or.
Well, what do you,
What was
Suze,
it?
did you see that with Gilead? So from Handmaid's Tale, which I think is a must watch.
No, I
I-
still haven't
I-
watched that.
I binged it because it was becoming too prominent. Too many people were suggesting it, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
But one of the things recently that came out, the Gilead organization that exists separate of the series has the same logo. With the red as the Gilead is what happens to the United States in that storyline, and
Ugh.
it's absolutely horrific.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Jerry has it for you,
Okay.
so you
All
should
right,
watch
Jerry.
that. You should watch that series, and and it's rough at times, but I think
Yeah.
you need to look at the roughness. But the Gilead organization in real life, Jerry could probably pull that up. You could do Gilead and Jerry's like, bitch, you pull it up. I know that look.
what am I?
And-
obscure?
I know. Well, I can pull it up after I'm talking here, but if you look at the Gilead logo of the real Gilead, and then you look at the Gilead, and then you look at Handmaid's Tale, and you look at them together, this is obviously too connected to not be connected.
Can I have to vent a frustration about that because I've been watching psychically my friends go sterile with this new level of whatever creepy tampering that we're undergoing. And I have noticed how it is turning into whatever that is. I haven't seen it, but everybody's been like, Handmaid's Tale for the last 4 years. And I'm like, I
You're
think
resistant?
missing it. I think you're missing it. I think you're missing where the Handmaid's Tale-edness is actually coming from. I think y'all are missing it. You know what I mean? Like they think that it's like everybody with the Texas, like this, it's not a ban necessarily, right? It's like 6 weeks and then that's the cutoff. I don't know, but everybody's like Handmaid's Tale. And I'm like, yeah, that's not it. It's happening for sure, but
Yeah.
that's not it,
Yeah.
Well, I think in the end, the final solution that these people are postulating, and one of the problems in The Handmaid's Tale is everyone becomes infertile for the reasons, if you watch, you'll figure that out. And America becomes locked down, and it's in this system. And within the system, everyone has a very specific role, and you can't veer from that role or they kill you. And handmaids are the ones who give birth. There are mothers, and there are these things they call aunts for those of us that would be in my age and older. And so, it's just extremely significant when you're looking at it with eyes now. And the children, is the story here. The children is the story here with what we're going through right now. The final solution is no children. And it's going to get down to, like I feel, and have said there's a gene raking going on. There are certain genes that are wanted and are being harvested. And these are expressed genes. These are expressed genes in people. And a lot of times we see these genes in people with special abilities. And that is dangerous on all sides because everyone wants that. And I think that part of this depop that's happening is to get rid of everyone else and harvest these genes. The people that I think are playing the bad guys in this role, in this drama that we are all part of, want that. They want to study it. They want to understand it. They don't have it. And I think this is also tied into what people want to consider a soul. And so there's a lot of stuff, I think in the realm, I think Randy Moggins has really talked a lot of amazing stuff on this, and I'm kind of stumbling around, but what I'm saying here is I do think that there's some sort of gene harvesting going on, and along with a depopulation, because they don't need this many people. They don't want this many people.
No.
It's too much, and everyone's going to get replaced by functioning robotics. You can call them whatever you want, and they're certainly making them in the form of artifice, in the form of humans, definitely. But the automative systems, and the more people push back and don't want to play, they're just going to start replacing them with automative systems, with AI, with robotics, with cybernetics. That's hilarious. With cyborg type stuff, upgrades to the human being as well. And I could go on and on. I think Randy Moggins really speaks to this eloquently, personally.
I looked into, on a cursory level, the VMAT2 gene, which is like the eternity code or like the eternity gene. And I think some people have it in higher degrees than others. That to me feels like it could run a machine, or like could contribute to the cultivation of some kind of like AI metaverse or something, I mean, we power all of this already, I think, energetically, or like the aspects of consciousness, as you were saying, Jerry.
What?
Nothing.
I'm goofing it. I'm talking to people in chat. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I don't know. I think that the aspects of consciousness that are here, or the extensions of that, are what ultimately like fuel the matrix. So
yeah, I mean,
it makes sense that at the end of the age they want to harvest all of that good shit and then put it towards like the next matrix. I don't know.
I don't know. In my current model of like the way I think about things is that the universe is consciousness, is the ether. It's all one thing, right? And we are individuated portions of that, here to experience and grow and learn and to increase the knowledge base of the consciousness on a whole, that kind of thing, So in that aspect, this is a learning thing, a school, whatever you want to call it. But it's more for the greater consciousness to learn it. And then I also think that there's that just like our brains have a left and right hemisphere and a subconscious and a conscious, there's a subconscious of the universe, which has this, the shadow, the darkness. That's what is manifesting, and that's what I think what Cliff would say is the bug. It's still part of consciousnness, but it's the shadow portion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about like duality, like that macro, like that zoomed out, to think about duality. I don't know. I'm just gonna munch on that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We really can't. You can't have one without the other. There must be a balance.
That's true.
So, I mean, I don't think there's ever. I don't know if it can be defeated. It can be kept at bay. It can be kept at bay, but it can't be defeated. And it can't be defeated, definitely, until it's confronted.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Agree.
Amen.
This kind of reminds me of something that my teacher said, which was that everybody assumes that, like, whenever you're talking about a higher density or a higher frequency, that you have to be talking about something positive or loving. She's like, I've met these horrible, atrocious beings that were like, you know, like higher in density and dimension, but they were still really what we would perceive of as negative. You know, I think.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, if all that shit is true, and there are higher dimensions of beings, right? They're going to become more and more and more what we consider amoral, because they're operating on a more collective level.
And they're probably less in time
from our perspective. Yeah, right. From our perspective, right? So depending on your own moral stance, they could look completely evil. You know, Earth's going to get the population wiped out. That's okay. They'll grow back. You know, when you live for a span of 1 billion years, you know, wiping out population that's been here for 60,000, however long we've been here, right, is just a speck on their screens.
Right.
Which many people would consider horrible and evil and dark and whatever. But, you know, when you look at it from their perspective, it's just, it's like killing ants.
It's like looking at it from a management perspective, you know? If you're going to look at it.
Super high level management. It's like Jeff Bezos looking at firing one guy in the warehouse kind of thing.
Yes.
And then it's like to zoom out.
I can see it though,
that much,
but I couldn't live it.
Yeah. To zoom out that much, I mean, we all have higher aspects of ourselves that exist in different densities that are
allegedly.
I don't know. I mean, I take my intuitions as true. No, but I did see a higher aspect of myself do something super interesting that had to do with water and portal, and lots of water portal stuff for me in the last week. But I have been, I have seen like other aspects of myself. Maybe it's all bullshit. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think that it benefits them for us to think of ourselves as just ants, even though if we die here, fuck it. I mean, I don't care. Like, it's just like a blip on the radar for me. But I think ideally we would be thinking like death is just this is a blip on the radar of eternity. It's not really anything to, you know, I don't know. And maybe billions of years that we've spent in this game or whatever, however long it's been, like, it's still just a blip on the radar of eternity, because there's no time in eternity. That's just always was, and whatever. So
I got a really good quote from a movie, and it's this nun, and she's saying, what is death but the beginning of life?
Yes. I mean, that's what I'm.
Wasn't that the quote, Nish? Because I sent it to you.
I think it was
something like that.
It was something like that, and that's. I mean, to me, that's
essentially that's what she said. What is death but the beginning of life?
Absolutely. So, I'm so with that. I liked what Jerry was saying earlier too, with confrontation of the shadow, basically confrontation of fear, and it is the name of the game, and that's. I think sometimes it behooves us to look at all this like a game.
Yes.
I guarantee high level people are. And that if that takes a lot of the fear out, first of all. If, you know, the extraneous fear, the fear that's pinging you deep inside is an important fear to listen to. But the rest of it is just, it's crust on you. And confrontation of fear, this is how you move to higher levels of consciousness. It's in-depth psychology. it's like it's the bedrock of it. And to look at this that's going on around us in that way changes the whole thing. It reframes it, and it takes us out of a collective victimhood, because that's what a lot of
Yes.
people are really pulling up to in the name of fear.
Mhm.
And that will get you nowhere except for deeper in. And so confrontation of fear, in the way Jerry just put that, it was so beautiful and perfect that it seems simple, but look at how scary this shit is. It's not simple. It's not simple. We're all facing different layers of fear, different ideas of fear. Even if you're saying you're not in fear, the environment you're swimming in is in fear. And that is what's we're pickling in, whether or not things are feeding off of it. And I guarantee things are. That is the name of the game here. So we must confront it and we must consume it in our own. And this is self. We're talking about self, and we must consume it and integrate it so that we can see what is the next layer of this game we're playing. And I do like the idea of looking at it as a game, because it takes you out of that mentality of totality, of loss, of the beauty of everything you have that you're going to lose because of whatever this fear monster is outside of us. And that's a way for me personally to eat that fear and move forward.
Can I tell you guys something really kind of like deep, depressing, dark? Yeah. Okay.
We live in those waters sometimes. Let's skinny dip there.
Last year I had, with memories, visions and stuff like that. And after having some of those visions and not having any context for what those were before I found you, and the likes of y'all, so that I could kind of have some context for what I was experiencing and seeing and noticing and all this stuff, I thought that I was going to lose like the individuated aspect of my spirit. Like I thought that shit was already done. Like I thought that shit was done. Like that ship had sailed for all of us, and that we were all going to get swallowed up into this Leviathan monster, which is just like, that's a terrifying thought. And then I followed that through all the way. And I was like, okay, well, if that happened, everything eventually goes back to the all. So, okay. And then I think like what happened was, as an essence, I am very stubborn. And so the spirit became very strong in me, like more like stronger than it had previously been. So that's like just about the scariest thing that I personally, as a mystic, could think of, is losing like the ability to still connect with my own individuated aspect of consciousness. Like that just rattled that shook me to the very core of me. I was so scared. And I don't know, I think I've definitely overcome that fear, but it's through agency. Like I wake up every day now and my days are different. Like my life is different because my actions, what I'm supporting with my energy or my money, or like all of that has changed. I mean, as a result of a fear that could be very real. I don't know.
But you're not crippled by it, and you're moving forward.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, Meredith. It's a very innocent.
That's a whole, because I don't care and give a fuck about death. I would rather die 1,000 times than go through like any aspect of that.
Does Steve have something to say on the show, Suzanne?
Steve.
Did I miss something?
Sorry.
She's getting bitched at.
No.
Are you
anecdotal tales?
Are you on a call with those crazy people again?
Where in the hell? But yeah, so Meredith, I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing that's hard to do for a lot of people, is to bring this in. That's airy words, and it is so important, and it gets over memed. And yet in the end, it is at the core of everything that you're experiencing, period, point blank. It's all happening internally. And start to dig apart the mechanism that is projecting out and outward, and amongst everyone else's projections outward, is you can't walk that water until you get to that water. And a lot of people understand it intellectually. They understand it through concepts, but
Right.
it doesn't matter if you understand these things conceptually. You have to get in the water
Mm,
and then go through the process. There's no other way. I mean, there's just
yeah.
no other way.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty common trend in the Western world, is to get really out of the gnosis and experience and really into like books and research and reading. And, you know, I like a combination of both.
The way I'm seeing all of this, and it's dark. I'm not one that's going to say it's not dark. Y'all know this. But I am an optimist, and I do like the idea of this representing some sort of transcendental experience if you reframe it into that. And we obviously are all strapped into the ride, and I actually think
Yeah.
we all are here intentionally, in my opinion, too. But I know there's that whole reincarnation loop that people talk about, and we could be trapped. I don't know. It's on the table. But I do think initially we came in here intentionally.
Me too.
And maybe we are being recycled a lot. Who knows? There's a lot to be said about that. But in the end, though, we're in it, and it doesn't do anyone any good to freak out.
And run from it.
Right. And we all know these people.
You have to confront this shit.
Yes, you have to move through it. We're on it. You might as well open your eyes and look around you and process it. And maybe at the end, maybe you're the one putting yourself in this loop. Maybe at the end you're like, "Ooh, that was a fun ride, exhilarating. I'm in line again."
I want to go on that ride again.
It was so real.
Thrill seekers.
When I was looking at myself in the mirror today, I had this weird thought overcome me, and that's not uncommon. But I was looking, and I was walking around. I had my glasses on, which I shouldn't do. I should only have them on when I need to read. But I did anyway. So I get in the mirror. I'm washing my hands, and I look up, and I'm like, look how real that hair is. And I was like, I'm in a sim, I'm like, look how real this is. Like, I was just like, look at every detail of this. And I had this weird moment. I felt like I was in Second Life again. And I was kind of alarmed that my thought took me there just on its own. And I don't know what that is. And it doesn't really relate to anything. It does relate to everything. But at the same time, it's just kind of anomalous here in this conversation.
It's an observation.
It was an observation that put me in that state of mind where I am actually not real. That reflection was not real, but I was taken over by the reality of it.
That's a vibe. Yeah. I've been like, wow, I love my digital copy or my avatar. Like, I think about this sometimes, that we've already been through this, and like we've already chosen this. Like maybe this is different in some ways. Like there's not as many controls up, even though I know that sounds like ridiculous in some senses, like because of how much control it appears. But I just remember in other resets, like it just seemed like it was like boom, event, and then boom, boom, lockdown. Like it was like way less messy and way less obvious, I think. And maybe the programming was way stronger at that point in time, or something. Other iterations I've gone through this, but I wonder if we've already chosen this and chosen this and chosen this. So this is a digital copy. I wonder.
Well, and even just by saying it to yourself, by kind of acknowledging, and not just that thought, but like any thought that comes in that. And so we do need to know what's your thought and what's not your thought. You need to know your inner voice.
Yeah.
That we're talking above that level. Okay.
Yeah.
But when these thoughts come in that I think are higher thoughts, and I think that that's the time to actually engage in what that higher thought is is trying to convey to you. And so whatever it could be, you know, a lot of people that quote unquote the psychics, right? This is a territory they understand, and it's interesting and it's intriguing. You know, when I walked away from that, I thought it was definitely not a foreign. It was definitely, I feel, me. So let me get that out of the way. I just burped too, Meredith. It's the burp night, and and it came up from my balls, and so anyway, so
I love your metaphysical lady spirit balls.
I know, for real. And so, and mine retracted so far, they're now titties. Anyway, so moving forward, I'm so lewd sometimes. Moving forward, I'm like, okay, this is an interesting thought. And I got caught in that moment of it. And then I had to, you know, this is when I pull it apart and I analyze what is this thought? Why did I just have this thought? And where is this thought taking me? Why did this? It's like a tarot card drops on the floor and you're like, what in the hell is this? And that thought took me into a very deep place, a place I enjoyed going, maybe not comfortably, but I enjoyed going there. And I think that this is one of the things that separates a lot of people right now. A lot of people will they're pushing thoughts out and they're not entertaining the thought because it's dark or it doesn't fit into something or it's crazy or this and that. I think it's time to start actually listening to yourself and hearing yourself and trying to have this kind of a conversation. And I'm saying this in a state of sanity, like in a state of stability. Let's put it that way instead of sanity.
Right.
In a state of stability where you start actually having an inner dialogue that pushes you into places that are interesting and not a dialogue that has to do with what you want as a confirmation bias or as sometimes our thoughts can put us into a vacuum, and we see it all the time where
so can Twitter.
Right.
Twitter is a thought vacuum.
I'm in a vacuum in Twitter right now. Totally.
Oh, I have my feed very carefully curated though, so as to not see just programmed
Mine
BS.
too. That's why I'm in.
You have to remember and keep in mind that Twitter is like 1% of the population. It is nowhere near representative of the world.
And I think that there's something that you're saying that's interesting, Nish. It's like I don't remember what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I think I've maxed out. It was just right there and now it went away. So
the confirmation bias.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's important to look at some of this stuff and to engage with it. But like you said, it's really, really easy to like, especially for me. I mean, I've been at times notoriously just really ungrounded. Like that's been a natural state, whatever that means, whatever ungrounded means. I've been like, whatever that is at times. I don't feel that way now, but like, I think, yeah, it's important to incorporate like nature and plants and like gardens and things like this, I think. And
well, that's why I was talking about the elements. It seems like, you know,
we're here.
All of us. What's that?
Oh, I just mean like we're here, like where there are like natural elements. I mean, that's where we are. Yeah.
Grounding is very important.
Yeah, I was thinking about my experience on Syrian rue. Have you guys ever tried that before?
What is it, Meredith?
Syrian rue. It was used back in the day as like an abortion, like it was like a plant medicine that could facilitate like abortion and early, or like, you know, miscarriages and early enough.
Is that a specific rue or is it?
Yeah.
Is it just rue? Is there
Syrian rue?
Oh, Syrian. I thought you said Therian. I'm like, what? I never heard of this.
You're like, what is that?
And what about the Rougarou, which will rip it out of your body with its claws?
Who was that?
Rougarou, it's an Australian.
Is it like a carnivorous plant?
No, it's an Australian cryptid.
It's
Oh.
it's one
We
of
love the
them.
cryptids.
It's one of them.
Oh man.
Maybe it's Louisiana. It's somewhere. It's a cryptid with claws. The catch.
You're gonna take your baby.
All right. It's like the dingoes took my baby.
Like the dango.
All right. That's been about 2 hours. I think we could
Yeah.
call it a night.
Well, this has been fun. I really enjoyed this panel tonight, and Meredith's disappeared. We think she's peeing somewhere. But
No, she's not peeing.
I'm just kidding.
She's getting scolded by her
Get
mother.
a drink or something.
She's
Oh no.
no, she's flatulating. Anyway, so this has been there she comes. This has been really fun. I'm so glad Meredith and Suze that you two came on. We need to do these kinds of things more
Too.
often. I love
Yeah.
it. I love you ladies. I love you,
Love you.
Jerry. And
Love
thank
you
you
too.
everyone that came to hang out with us.
Yeah,
for a minute.
thank you, everyone in chat.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
next week we'll be back to a serious show. Robert Powell.
That's hilarious.
Not that this wasn't serious, but I mean it's going to be more topic oriented. Robert Powell's going to be on.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Yes, Robert's got a lot to say.
Yep.
He's great. Yeah.
and after that we've got Jennifer Bruce, and then we're going to have Rick.
Oh,
Richard.
yes. Richard Allen Miller. We got Rick
Yes.
coming up. Wait till you get your ears on Jennifer Bruce. She's amazing. I love her so much. And she's a firecracker.
And
Then of course, when we have Rick on, all we have to do is introduce him and hold on.
that's
because
good. I love this. My favorite guest.
Rick just goes. He is just on it, and you just hold on.
I just hope he wears that cool hat.
Yes,
And,
I love him.
Jaron Campanello, I've been trying to get his ass on here. He said he'd come on, but then I haven't been able to hook up with him. So can't wait to do a deep dive on flat
That'd be
Earth with
fun.
him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to do it. We need to get into some more flat Earth just to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, or we could talk crypto with him because he's a crypto guy. So I want to do a cryptocurrency show.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. It'd be good to do it maybe like a couple people so we could get alternate perspectives. You know,
We get
show.
Snippy on.
Right. Oh, I know.
There you
people-
go.
That's triggering people I know right now.
I don't care.
Oh no, that's a good thing.
Well, he would be
So-
good because he's a woo guy and he's a crypto guy.
And he's right. And now he's a psychic.
Yeah.
Now he's what?
He's a psychic now too.
Oh, really?
Oh, he
His
always kind
mom's
of has
psychic,
been.
right?
No,
Yeah,
he
always
was
has
not.
been.
No, he was not. I followed him for years. He was not a psychic guy in the beginning. He started introducing it through his mom and then that penny person. And then he started being,
Yeah, I don't
was
like
a
that penny
progression.
person.
I'm not a fan of,
Penny.
I'm leery of that penny person.
I don't know. I'm leery of a lot of people right now, but and especially
Like,
people
Yeah.
with narratives
Me
that,
too.
that I don't know. You know, I just am not trustworthy of some people. So
Isn't it amazing how? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to answer whoever just said Allison McDowell. That's Meredith. I've invited her on. She doesn't want to come on the show.
That doesn't surprise me.
She declined, which is too bad. I'd love to chat with her and about, I heard her, like everything she talked about on the THC episode she did was right on, and I totally agree. And it's frightening, and I'd love to have her come on and talk about it. And that's all I want to talk about with her. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of people won't come on the show because we talk about other stuff that's not. I mean, I don't know. You know
we're
how
a
it is.
variety
She
show.
blocked me on Facebook, but she loves me on Twitter. It's so weird. I don't know. It's the whole thing.
But we're a variety show. We have had every kind
Yeah.
of on here. Like seriously, we have had every kind of person, Jer. What have we not had on here?
Oh no, we've had everyone. We tolerate all kinds of crazy.
Yeah, we're like love that.
Remember that guy?
Clearly, you guys are friends with me.
Remember that guy we had on? I remember his name. God, I can't remember his name. He's like a radio guy, all love and light. He would tell us,
Yeah.
friends.
Vinny.
Let me tell you.
That was Vinny.
No, it wasn't Vinny. It was an older guy.
Oh, yeah, the one that said friends.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking
Dear
about.
ones, let me tell
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. That was a show we worked. We
you.
worked on
Yeah,
that one.
he was a
Jared, for
Palladian
this.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where you leave and you're like, I should have got paid.
Yeah.
It's like,
That was back
my
in the
God,
day
I
when
hate to say
I'd
that
be
out loud, but
posting
there
memes
there
on
have been-
Facebook constantly during the show. It's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Y'all
I mean,
had a
there
light worker on your show?
we've
Yeah.
had many light
Light
workers,
worker?
many.
Let's say
Dear ones,
dear ones. Yeah.
we gather here today to tell you how insignificant you are and how important we
Yes.
are.
You know, I even reached out to Bashar.
Fuck that guy.
Funny.
I want to talk to him. I want to talk to these people.
Yeah.
He's
So,
money driven, so
I-
he's not gonna.
He said no. Like I even asked Yuri Geller was another person I invited.
Cool.
I know. I would love to talk to. I invited so many people who all replied, either didn't reply to me or said no, I don't want to be on the show.
Well, there, in fairness, a lot of people weren't coming on. We were just Nox Mente, and they didn't want to talk about their
This is
personal
true.
dreams.
This is true.
Yeah.
Like
So it changed with the Obelisk.
like Michael Tazarian.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Mhm.
But this show, I mean, anything goes with the Obelisk. So, and we
Yeah,
let
right.
it go where it goes.
No way I'm having James Gilliland on the show. Sorry. Long start. Anyway, that is all. You're all free to go. You're all excused. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll be back next week, and hopefully some more regular shows.
Stay sane.
Stay sane.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Don't let them get you.
Fear is the mind
Don't let the
killer.
bed bugs bite.
That's right. That's right. I say that every night to Ben. We say that to each other. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Aw.
Never trust a fart.
Don't.
Yeah, Jason Luke. That's a good one, Jason Luke.
Don't
All right.
let the bug bite you.
You are the bug. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.